Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 38 of Generations of the Game. Of course, it's your boy JP. And of course, I got my co pilot alongside of me. Introduce yourself, good brother.
JP was good. What's up, world? It's your boy Will Lyons.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, Will? What's going on, brother? How's the week going so far?
It was good, man, but I couldn't wait to get to Thursday.
You ain't
Record.
nothing. Look, you got Thursday, one more day of work, and 2 whole days of play. So that's a good
Absolutely.
thing. Of course, our third member here, JJ, he has back to school night so far tonight, so hopefully he'll be able to join us. But he's a little busy with that, dealing with kids and their parents tonight. But anyway, man, let's get into this. What is going on in the world of sports this week? And we're going to start with the world of basketball, and we're going to start right off with the NBA because we had a quiet retirement today from somebody who was robbed. We were robbed, Will, of this player. Derrick Rose, Simeon High School great, University of Memphis great, Chicago Bulls great. Had a very good career, but it should have been an all-time career, except for the horrible knee injuries. Will, speak on Derrick Rose, man, his legacy and what he meant to the NBA.
Man, D Rose, man, he's a true just top level talent, man. High school, that game, leading Simeon, they were a ranked team, but they took down the number one team in the country at the time, Oak Hill,
Mm-hmm.
really behind him, then at Memphis, they were super close to winning the title against Kansas. If they knocked down some free throws, one and done there, number one overall pick, youngest NBA MVP in history, all NBA, I think 3-time All Star. You know, Derrick Rose was just a different type of player. He didn't talk. He led with action, and from the minute he stepped in the league, he was an immediate impact player. That combination of strength, speed, leaping ability, and the other thing to me that stood out with him because, in my opinion, Westbrook and Rose are the two most athletic point guards. But the thing that I have to give Rose the edge on is his ability to finish under the rim and the way he could contort his body, and finish layups. That's something that kind of sets him apart. So truly, the glimpse we got of him, it wasn't even his prime, but he was such a special talent, man. Head to head with LeBron, going to war with the Celtics, just so many memories, in a short amount of time of him being on the Bulls. But, you know, it's unfortunate because he was truly a hometown hero.
Yeah, well, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you about the two most, and I got to put John Morant in there too. Those are the three. But for me, Derrick Rose was probably the most athletic point guard, probably the quickest. If you combine all the attributes together, the quickness, the leaping ability, all that stuff there. Derrick Rose was the modern day quintessential point guard. Man, he was something special when he wasn't injured. And like you said, we saw the first 3 years of him where he was really good. We didn't get a chance to see Derrick Rose 3 through 8, 3 through 10 years in the league because there's no doubt about Derrick Rose would have been a 13, 14, maybe even 15-time All-Star. No doubt about it. He had a 16-year career. He had a very, very good career. He made his money. He has to worry about money no more. Got his family out of Inglewood in Chicago, and he was a great player, man, in his prime. His prime years, the 3 years that we saw, a 3 year window. So we salute him, man, on having a great, great, great career. And if supposedly he has a son, his son's supposed to be a ball player too.
Yeah, PJ, I believe his name is. He can go, man. He's young right now, but he's on the come up.
Yeah, yeah. But once again, brother, salute to Derrick Rose, man, on having a great NBA career, and job well done, sir. Job well done. As we stay in the realm of basketball here, Will, WNBA. WNBA. I guess we got to talk about the three topics here. Number one, Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces marched on to the semifinal round, and they're going to take on the New York Liberty, which should be a classic series. Speak on the Las Vegas, the first round, and what happened.
I mean, the best team won. That's the easiest way I could put it. I think the Seattle Storm, for the most part, they put up, the best fight that they could. Neka Umake, Gabby Williams, fresh off, reminding the world who she was in the Olympics, really did her thing. Jewel Lloyd, all NBA caliber player, all star. She didn't really have the showing that I thought she would have, but that just kind of, as a feather in the cap of the Aces defense. But at the end of the day, it just showed what we all know. First of all, they have the best player in the world by far in Asia Wilson. She's dominant on both ends of the court. And then, the rest of the team is no slouches. Kelsey Plum, bucket. Chelsea Gray can be a bucket when she chooses to. Point guard, sets the table, as good as anybody in the history of the game. And they don't stop coming at you. Even when it seems like, you've got the aces, they always just seem to go on a run like great teams do. I'm definitely looking forward to their next series, with the Liberty. That should be a great one. Asia versus Stewie. You got Sabrina, for your Kelsey Plum, or Sabrina for your Chelsea Gray. You got Vandersloot, you got Plum, you got Jackie Young. Like, you literally have, you know, stars galore, and two, pretty deep teams. So it should definitely be a high level matchup.
Yeah, I agree, man. This actually might be the winner. This might actually be the champion, but we'll see though. It's going to be a great series. A lot of great matchups. Should be a classic one. Who's going to win? Aces are healthy. As Ric Flair says, for you to be the man, you got to beat the man. But for you to be, in this case, for you to be the woman, you got to beat the woman. But looking forward to a great series, man, and we'll see what they're going to do. I expect Aisha Wilson and Brianna Stewart. They're going to go at it, man. So it should be a hell of a series. As we move on to another series of the WNBA. Last night, Diana Taurasi might have played her final game, bruh, as the Minnesota Lynx beat the Phoenix Mercury. Bruh, let me tell you something. Collier for Minnesota, she was off the hook. She's off the hook the whole series, 38-42. Man, speak on it, Will.
Well, W Twitter, they just refer to her as Fee typically, but not, Naphesia Collier, man. The easiest way to describe it, at least just off this season, she's the best player in the world, not named Asia Wilson. You know, if Asia wasn't in the league, she would have been the MVP, running away with the award. Minnesota has looked pretty dominant, and she damn sure has looked dominant. I mean, she, from what I could see offensively, she has no holes in her game. She's not flashy. She can shoot it from the mid range. She can shoot the three off catch and shoot. And the thing that impresses me the most with her, and I think, comes through from her like UConn pedigree, is that she's constantly moving without the ball as well. She's an excellent cutter. And, that allows her teammates to find her. And like looking at the clips of her 42, yeah, she had some like tough buckets, but a lot of them was just off her movement, and they find her and she lays the ball up or she hits a quick jumper. And it's a player like that. they're typically not going to be as fatigued as a player that really has to, you know, 10, 15 dribbles to get a bucket. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm definitely, to be honest with you, I would love to see Minnesota versus Las Vegas. For it all, I would love that matchup because to me, they're the two. No disrespect to New York, but like I said, based off this season, they have the two players playing the best, and I want to see them, on the collision course.
Yeah, good points. You might get it. You just never know. You might just get it. Um, and now we go on to the third, to the our other game in the WNBA. Oh, there he is. What's up, JJ? What's going on, good brother?
The longest damn day of the school year. I survived it.
You look tired, bro. Like they done wore you out.
Man, I love my job. It sucks when you got to do it in the AM. Then we had a town attendance meeting after school. Then I had to rush to Chipotle to get my food. Chipotle, got my food, ate it, showered, get dressed back up, and I had to go back up there and go through the schedule again. So the night we're back to school night, it sucks. Thank God tomorrow's Friday. I'm drinking some beers tomorrow. I'm being transparent. I'm saying publicly, 3 p.m. I will be drinking beers. That's gonna be my therapy. I need a beer tomorrow.
You earned it, brother.
We hear you, brother. We're talking about the WNBA right now, Jay. We're talking about the Indiana Fever versus Connecticut Sun series, and it was a good series. Indiana played them tough, but at the end, Connecticut had a little too much firepower for them. And man, Caitlin Clark, she came to play this series. But JJ, since you just came on here, what do you think about the series with Connecticut and Indiana?
See, Taylor Clark, right? Rest a little bit, but
Hey, JJ, you sounding like a robot, brother. You on mute, JP.
Yeah, what do you think about this series, brother?
I mean, Indiana, they had some moments, but two things: experience comes through in the playoffs. Caitlin had a rough first playoff game. She really came to play the second game, but in the WNBA first round, this is a best of three. Is no time to like mess around. In a best of three series, you gotta bring it, from the jump. So, they played better the second game, but they were already down one and the better team won. Connecticut has two future Hall of Famers in Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner, and hey, they came to play.
Yes, they did. JJ, you're making a point about the Indiana Connecticut series.
yeah, I was trying to say that when Caitlin Clark gets some rest, because she went straight from the college season straight into the WNBA. If you give her a little bit of rest, God bless everybody next year. And did everybody hear that?
Yeah, we heard it.
All right. And like on the thread I put up beginning of the week, Asia won her third MVP. She better enjoy it because if the female Larry Bird do what she's supposed to do, she might win like 5 in a row, dog. Like real talk.
I don't know, man. The aces are tough. As I told Will, hey, as Ric Flair says in this case, to beat a woman, you got to beat the woman.
Hey man, they saying that Caitlin's coming, man. Especially if she starts shooting from 40 to 45 feet away, she coming. She gonna stretch the defense. Then, yo, She coming, man. And now we can do about it. She's
No
coming.
doubt about it, she's coming. As a matter of fact, she said she's not playing no more basketball until next April when the season starts next year. So as you said, God bless you. Good night.
God bless everybody. Her rested up. God bless everybody.
Oh yeah, she's definitely a generational talent. Will, what do you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, Caitlin's only going to improve, which is scary. I mean, she was all NBA, all WNBA first team as a rookie. Impressive, man. The only rookie year I can remember better than that, was Candace Parker winning MVP as a rookie. So definitely a historic season. They're going to improve. It's on the front office to make some things happen, though. Maybe to find some better fits on that roster.
Will, you froze up.
Aaliyah Boston.
JP, you frozen too?
What'd you say?
Damn.
We good.
The first thing they gotta do is bring back Kelsey Mitchell. But I think Indiana will be tough, man. But to be honest with you, man, you know who I'm waiting for to hit the WNBA, Juju. So Caitlin better enjoy it while she got it. Because Juju is really the one coming for the crown.
Yeah, and Hannah Hidalgo too. You better watch her in about 3 years too.
Absolutely.
So definitely. And while we're on this, man, well, we got a rant tonight. We all know Caitlin Clark is a special player, a generational type of talent. We know that. We know she's a great player. Some of the criticism has been unwarranted towards her. Some of the criticism we understand has been warranted, and we understand how some players might feel, considering they were the brand of the WNBA or created it. But Will and JJ, we got to talk about this stupid ass nonsense from some of these fanatical jackass fans. Will, speak on what's been going on, bruh, with certain players getting death threats and everything going on, man.
Man, Dejanay Carrington of the Fever, Alyssa Thomas of Connecticut, Angel Reese, multiple players from various teams, that have spoken out and said that they received death threats, after, getting into, regular basketball situations, little scuffles and whatnot on the court, involving Caitlin Clark. Now, to be honest, I feel like Caitlin truly has nothing to do with it. I think that there's a group of people that just are trying to use her to tear down and humble a league that is predominantly Black women and happens to be, largely, queer. And they had this, white player that's very good that they felt like they could use, to humble these Black women, and whether, Indiana lost or, there may have been a hard foul or whatever, they use these moments and these instances to spew hatred, instead of really just talking about the game. And it's disgusting, man. Nobody should have to get death threats, for playing a game. At the end of the day, free throws, layups, screens, like none of it, should cost, potentially cost you your life.
I'm going to go on this rant. And JJ, we're going to get to you on your take on it. Let me tell you something. Will, as you famously say, brother, those people out there making these death threats, everything, go play in fucking traffic. Excuse me for my French. Play in fucking traffic. Okay? The hard fouls, physicality has always been a part of basketball. And I agree with you, Will. I definitely agree with you 100%. Caitlin Clark has nothing to do with this racism that's going on, nor does she promote it. But some of her fan base is racist and ignorant. Not everybody, of course not. But there is a certain element in the fan base of her fan base that's racist, is ignorant. Let's be honest. Let's just call it a buck. And we're talking about women playing the sport of basketball. You know, when you're playing on a team with somebody, regardless of what color they are, your family, your brothers. For instance, my boy Tony Lorene, shout outs to him. We played high school. We played basketball together. We were 10 years old. Here we are 43 years later. That's like my brother. That's family. It had nothing to do with no damn race, and he's white. There's nothing to do with no damn race or anything. It's just that that's my brother, and we play together on a team. And our job is to get the job done and win. When you play sports, this is what happens. But you know, we got to stop this bullshit with this racism stuff all the time. You get tired of it, especially with this damn climate in the country. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. Especially with this orange orangutan that's running and stuff. It's really creating this type of climate. I'm keeping a buck with you, you know, and it's just a shame, man. These women are getting death threats over a game that they love. Like I said, go play in fucking traffic, for real. There's no place for it in sports or the WNBA for that matter. JJ, go on.
Ooh, wee. A lot of smoke there, brother. A lot of smoke there. Hey, man, it's going to pass over. And a lot of these women, you know, after the playoff, and they're going to go to Europe, go play ball for about 4 or 5 months. So it's all going to pass over. But after November 5th elections, all this crap going to die down, homie. So no biggie, no diggity, no doubt. Everything going to be all right. Everything going to reset itself.
I hope so, man. But it's just a climate in this damn country, man. And actually, it's been hot in here for, as Malcolm would say, it's been hot in here for over 450 years. But it seems like it's getting worse though, with certain things going on, man. You know, but like I said though, man. You know, these women are out there hooping, bruh. That's all they're doing is hooping. You know, ain't got nothing to do with no racism or anything like that there. And people sit there talking about Caitlin Clark and talking about her with race. Get the hell out of here. Caitlin Clark has never said a damn racist thing in her life. Just stop. She had a great year, a great rookie year. We need to stop that bullshit too, for real. She's a hell of a player, man. Anybody else got anything to add to it?
The only thing I would say with Caitlyn, and you know, I'm not saying that like it's her obligation, but when you see, you know, for essentially the whole season, this has been the trend. I feel like unless you kind of have to say something, you know, like you got to say something, man. Like, you know, you don't agree with it, you don't side with it, whatever the case may be. You know, she literally was silent. You know, her family was liking, you know, some of the racist shit that was being tweeted about some of the other players and stuff. You know, it just doesn't look good. And part of, and you know, at the end of the day, like they may not, you know, flat out ask to be the role models and stuff like that, but you are one. And as you know, the face of the league, as the numbers say, you know, you are going to have to, you know, take a little more of that on at the end of the day.
Agreed. I definitely agree with you on that. But she did speak out the other day about the play where the girl poked her in the eye. And she did come out and say, hey, listen, it was nothing malicious. It was a basketball play. You know, it was nothing malicious to that there. So I understand, you know, where she was coming from on that angle and stuff. And yeah, I heard about that too. You know, that still had nothing to do, you know, with her per se. You know what I mean? You know, or whatever. You know, but I agree with you though, Will. Will, you made some pretty good points right there, man. So JJ, you got anything you want to add before we move on? Oh, JJ, like he's frozen there. Let's move on.
Jack Wi-Fi.
Yeah, technical difficulties, as he says. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. But let's move on. Let's move on now to the world of football, as we're going to talk about college football. And while waiting for JJ to come back, yeah, I'm gonna get on him real quick. Oh yeah, last week all that talk about USC. Oh, we coming into the big house in the end. Oh, well, real quick before we go into that, JJ, do you have anything to add to what we were talking about?
I heard the whole thing. Nah, I'm good.
Okay, now it's time. Mister, you know, you kidding me about Texas. Now it's my turn to get on you now. I told you USC was going to come to the big house, and this is a must-win game for the University of Michigan. Hail to the victors, and as the song goes, dan 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 dan. Yo, not going to sit up here in front. It was nervous time. We ran the ball down their throats. We said what we were going to do, and they did it. We still got quarterback issues, but we did it. But anyway, Will, speak on the big victory that my Michigan Wolverines got over JJ's USC Trojans.
Oh, that was a hell of a win, man. It's kind of crazy that everybody knows that Michigan has to run the ball to put points up, and they still were able to do it. Edwards and the other back, I can't think of his name. They handled their business, man. And USC quarterback,
Mullins.
Mullins, yep. And USC's quarterback, he made some plays, man, but it wasn't enough. And it's hard to get a clutch win, but especially when you have to run the ball. So I definitely have to salute that win. Especially because, man, JJ and we had like a good laugh, man, like with his post during the game. I thought USC had it. I thought it was it. Now I will say, JP, shit, you might as well be the quarterback for Michigan, brother, because they need anybody they can get right now.
Bruh, let me tell you something, bruh. We need to get Bryce Underwood to renege from that commitment to LSU to Michigan, bruh. He's the number one player in the country. We need him. We need him bad.
You better buy his mom a house or something, man.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you another thing too. We might need to get that quarterback from UNLV. We want to discuss. We gotta talk about that too. With that quarterback from UNLV, man, that's crazy. Who's that talking? I can't.
I think that's JJ.
I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, man. We definitely need to get our quarterback situation straightened out, and we're gonna be all right, bro. I don't. Do I expect us to beat Ohio State this year? Ohio State like a juggernaut, man. So,
bro, their running game is something crazy,
bruh. Not their passing game. I told you about that kid Smith.
Oh yeah, he's tough.
I'm gonna make a prediction right now. I know we don't do this. He has a chance to be the best wide receiver to come out of Ohio State. Yes, I said that. Considered all the great wide receivers historically who's come out of Ohio State, from your Chris Carters to your David Bostons to your doggone Terry Glenn, rest in peace, to your Michael Thomases, Paul Warfield back in the day, great Hall of Fame wide receiver back in the 60s, 70s with the Miami Dolphins. Man, this kid is right up there with them, man. He's tough, bro. He's good, as good as advertised.
Yeah, this wide receiver is nuts.
Go ahead, Will. Speak on him.
No, I was just gonna say, like, this freshman wide receiver class as a whole is nuts. Like, between Smith and the kid from Alabama, like, bro, they are,
Ryan,
are extremely impressive, man. But to keep it on Smith, like, the thing that impresses me the most about him is like he seems so composed. Like, you wouldn't think he's a freshman. He plays like he's like a junior or something, man. He's an excellent route runner, to be this young. He goes up and he attacks the ball, and brings it in. If he's this good already, man, listen, they're lucky that he has to play 3 years, because he will be out of there probably in year two if he could. He's that special of a talent. And I don't think that is far from what he said. If he's this far along in year one, he by the time he's done, man, he can be rewriting the record books.
Hey, Will, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I felt as though after seeing him in high school last year, he could have maybe. I think he could have definitely contributed to a high school team, but there's a slight chance he could have made the NFL out of high school. And I know people are like, "Oh, Jay, you crazy." This kid's running routes, polish. The way he plays football, polish. His side, his size, polish. He's what, 6'4", about 215, 220.
Yep.
Polish. Polish. People say Randy Moss could have came out and went to the NFL out of high school. And this kid might have been the second one that could have done the same thing. And I mean, he is a special talent, man. This week coming up, Will, we got the big game. We need to preview that. Georgia versus Alabama. What do you see in that game coming up? Saturday night, prime time, 7:30 p.m. ABC.
Man, it's a lot of smoke in that game. Bama, I would say they look better than I thought, man. Losing Hall of Fame coach, like they did, bringing in the coach, what is his name, man? DeBauer, whatever his name is, from Washington. He got that offense humming, man. And then Georgia, man, they're just dominant, man. They lose a ton of players every year. They can still run the ball down your throat. They got a quarterback that can make plays. I mean, until I see them go down, man, they lost a lot of talent to the NFL, and they're still a favorite, which is crazy.
Yeah, man, it is. I expect this to be a very, very good game. I think if Georgia comes out and plays like the way they played against Kentucky, they're going to have some issues. They're going to have issues playing. They can't come out that way they played against Kentucky. I think they're going to have to run the ball effectively. Quarterbacks going to play better. The receivers going to make some big plays. That goes for Alabama too. They got to establish the run. Ryan Williams, Milrose, and Ryan Williams. It's going to be a matchup. I'm right now. I'm gonna give a slight edge to Alabama. Plus the game's in Tuscaloosa too, so I'm gonna give a slight edge to Alabama. I'm going to go with 35-31 Alabama over Georgia in the Classic, man. So we're definitely looking forward to that game. Well, we got to talk about the other game that took place on Saturday night, man. It's a good one in Boulder, Colorado, as we had the University of Colorado versus Baylor. Game that went into overtime. Dramatic finish in regulation and dramatic finish at the end of the game. Let me say this, bruh. If Dion had the lines are improving. The lines have improved. But if he had a very, very good offensive line to go to the defensive line, you talk about Colorado being up there in the top 5 teams in the country. I really do believe they have the skill position players, but man, they got some receivers. The running game is it's not that bad. But Shador, man, what do you think about this? What did you think about this game on Saturday and about Colorado overall?
I think it showed me a lot. Just looking back at last season, they would have lost a game like this. Shador, he put on a show, and showed that he can, make plays whether they're in the lead or whether they're trying to come back and win. The accuracy, that last bomb, in the end zone for that last touchdown that they had. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Like, the arm talent is there. Sadly, he's running for his life majority of the time. But I feel like, from what I've seen from him, he adapted. Typically, if he has to take off and run, he's not making the play. He's looking to get rid of the ball. But, he scrambled to the left. He was patient. He found his receiver. He fired it. Made a hell of a play. And that was big. Now you have to just hope that whatever NFL team he ends up on, has a more competent line, obviously, than that. And he's not running for his life quite as much, because if you give him time, imagine what he could do. And then Travis Hunter is the best player in the country, man. And on both sides of the ball, he's a super impact player. I mean, he's either giving you a highlight reel catch or an interception, or possibly the game saving hit like he did against Baylor. I mean, bro, he's a special talent, man. Obviously I haven't been watching as long as you, but man, he is just something different, bro. Like, making plays as a dual threat like that.
Yeah, man. Look, Travis Hunter, man. He's a generational. People throw that term generational around a lot. No, he really is a generational player, man. Like you said, on both sides of the ball. At quarterback, wide receiver. And my thing is, at quarterback, who's better, him or Will Johnson from Michigan? Because Will Johnson, man, that Fresno State game, he turned the game around in that one, first game of the year. He had the big pick 6 against USC last week. It's as far as defensive backs, they're neck and neck. Will Johnson, in my opinion, is the best defensive back in Michigan since Charles Woodson. And they've had some great ones come out. They've had some great ones.
Yep.
But he's the best I've seen in Michigan since Charles Woodson. But this Travis Hunter, bruh, special. As you said, special. Shador too. If he had an offensive, like a real good offensive line, bruh, ain't no telling how many touchdowns he threw for right now. He's that good. Yeah, he'd be the Heisman front runner right now. He would be. But it was a great game last week. It was everything the college football you want from college football, and it was a good one. Well, we're gonna wrap this up, this college football, man. But
1 second, bro. So one thing I wanted to mention real quick, that was a great game. Now this was just at random, but so checking the scores on my phone and everything, and I'm looking, man, I'm like, JMU's got like 40 something points in the first half, and I checking the scores like later in the afternoon, bro. James Madison University versus North Carolina. 70-50.
Whoa, that was crazy over an ACC team, man.
Bro,
North Carolina, they put up 70 points on them.
Bro, 70 points against anybody is nuts. Like they ran UNC up out of there.
Yes, they did.
Man.
Yes, they did. They put it on UNC. They put it on UNC.
Yeah, shout out to them at James Madison, man.
Yeah, James Madison of all schools, definitely playing with beating up on the big boys. But we gotta talk about this last thing, man, with college football, bro. This whole UNLV situation is crazy right now with the quarterback. I forget his name real quick. He played 3 games and playing well. I think he ranked number 23 in the country now. But he decided, like, yo, I'm redshirting. They promised me $100,000. I didn't receive my $100,000. So I'm going in the portal. Bruh. This is crazy.
The big problem with the NIL situation is that it's not regulated, the way that it needs to be. And I don't mean, limiting how much the players can make or anything like that. But it needs to be, handled like any other business. It needs to be clearly outlined. You will receive your payments these dates. You will get your final payment by this date, whatever the case may be. Because to be real, I feel like 3 games into the season is kind of crazy. But at the same time, I know that if my job was telling me, oh, we'll get you later, I'm not going to keep showing up, and at the end of the day, when money comes into it, it's your job in a sense. even though he's in college, if you telling, a kid he's gonna get 100K, that's life changing money. There's no telling what his family needs that for, or anything. So, I understand him wanting his money. Now, I don't know what the market for his services will look like, in the off season. Seeing that he jumped in the portal, redshirted and jumped in the portal after 3 games when he had a chance to potentially lead his team at least trying to compete for a playoff spot. I don't think that ends up looking too great. But I want to speak to the casuals. It's easy to speak from your couch, wishing that you got a chance to play football before, outside of Pee Wee or whatever the case may be, and try to talk down, on a kid that's trying his best to live his dream. At the end of the day, if your job, Chick-fil-A, whatever it is, said, yeah, I know we promised you this much money, but we don't have it, you would leave immediately, and at the end of the day, that's what he did. So he doesn't deserve all of the, flack that he's getting, at the end of the day. If they promised him, they promised him. And to be honest, he needs to get an order and release whoever owes him that money.
Bruh, very poignant points that you made, bruh. I agree. If you promised this kid $100,000 and you reneged on it, that's on you. This kid was promised $100,000 and didn't get paid. And another thing is too. Let's be honest. Football programs have built colleges. Again, football programs have built colleges. And also builds a school up. So if you promise this kid this amount of money, you should just give it to him, $100,000. But now I think it's too late. But you made some very poignant points, very good points you made there, Will. Definitely. Let's move on now to our final segment of this episode of Generations of the Game. We move on to the world of the NFL. And Will, you know who we got to start with first. It never fails. It never fails. It never fails. Stephen A. Smith is right. Preseason, you're hyped up, you're amped up. We talk about Super Bowl. Oh, this is our year. This is our year. Bruh, it's been back-to-back weekends of a glorious, as we could call it, glorious Sundays. Anytime Dallas Cowboys lose, it's a glorious Sunday. I love it. We'll speak on this game with Baltimore and Dallas, and they had Derrick Henry back there looking like Jim Brown running over them.
You hit it on the head. Henry was making plays. First of all, he was actually getting the ball. And then Lamar, man, he made plays. Like, it seemed like every time Dallas's defense was trying to figure it out, Lamar would just scramble and, pick up a first down, marching them down the field, And at the end of the day, they played them tough, man. But I feel like, the media, they kind of, they forget, Baltimore, that's a team that's built, for the full season, the long run. Yeah, at that time they didn't have any wins, but they still had Lamar Jackson, they got Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers and some other playmakers. And they still have that defense, Roquan Smith and stuff. They're a tough team, and that's a team that I feel like if you're looking to beat them, you almost need to build, a larger lead than what Dallas had. And at the end of the day, they were able to get past them. Dallas, I'm just not a big Dak believer, man. I'm not, and then if I'm not mistaken, they were so desperate for a running back, they brought Zeke back. That's saying a lot, man. So I don't know. Like, it looks like they might pick up another W tonight, but ultimately, man, It's a joke, but I do believe in the meme where before the season even starts and people put it out, it's like the Dallas Cowboys have been eliminated from the playoffs and the season ain't even start. That's how I look at them at this point.
Yeah, yeah, man, I agree. And for Jerry Jones to come out there the other day and sit up there and say, "Oh, we had money to pay Derrick Henry." Come on, Jerry. Come on, Jerry. Stop that.
Bro, he didn't even get that much money.
You didn't get that much money. Stop that, Jerry. You know, like we said, man. You know, it's always a good day when Dallas is going away. So you know they lose. So you know it's just good. Now let's talk about this Eagles Saints game on Saturday on Sunday at 1 o'clock, bruh. Saquon Barkley is coming there, man, and made a huge impact. Speak on that. Speak on it, Will.
Man, listen, I know he's dealt with numerous injuries, in his career. It seems like he misses more time than he plays. But man, this was a vintage Saquon Barkley game. Let me look at the numbers. He had 17 carries for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns, almost 9 yards a carry. I mean, he was locked in. He was making play after play. The line was doing a good job, holding and everything. And to think, Jalen didn't throw a touchdown, but Saquon carried him on his back, running the ball. And at the end of the day, New Orleans started off pretty good. Derek Carr's been playing pretty good, but like we've talked about, there's certain players that Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, no matter how good they play, it's like you just know at some point like a big or a bad play is coming. And it hasn't failed yet.
You're right. It hasn't failed yet, bro. You know, it hasn't. It was a hard hitting game. The Eagles came out against I think New Orleans Saints is a pretty good team against a pretty good team and beat them. Um, Now we gotta talk about the Chicago Bears, man, against the Indy game. Caleb Williams, I like what I saw from him in the second half, but we got to step it up a little more. Adunze, man, he's as good as advertised. 6 catches for $115 last week, man. He played very well. Um, let's move on now to the next game, Will, that we're going to talk about here. Let's talk about the game Monday night, Buffalo versus Jacksonville. Buffalo looks like they got a very good all around team, man. You know, outside of Diggs. You know, what did you put that game the other night, man? And DeMar Hamlin getting his first interception.
Listen, man, it's great to see Damar Hamlin, just walking around, let alone playing football again, man. Really cool, to see. But Buffalo, they're 3-0. And just to be frank, they beat the shit out of Jacksonville, 47-10. I mean, Josh Allen, only had 7 incomplete passes, 4 touchdowns. You know, James Cook ran for 1. I mean, it literally from start to finish, there was nothing that Jacksonville could do, and just to kind of look at the difference in how, going back to the Caitlin Clark thing, how I think historically people try to act like, color doesn't matter when you're talking about sports, but it does because, for example, the way that Justin Fields has been talked about and looked at, Trevor Lawrence is looking overrated, to be the number one pick. He was talked about as if he was going to be, the best quarterback prospect damn near since Peyton Manning, since Andrew Luck and all this stuff, and what has he done? What has he done? You know, the roster's not great, but if you're that good, you should be making plays.
He's done nothing. I said the same thing too. I think Trevor Lawrence is a little overrated. He's been in the league, what, 4 years now?
Yep,
What has
he
he
got
done?
got a new contract for nothing.
What has he done? He's got, I mean, the tools are there, the physical attributes are there. Let's see what happens. You know, those are very good points you made. I agree with you. Um, as we, what the heck was that? Oh, as also speaking of quarterbacks, bruh, Jaden Daniels is for real, bruh. I don't
Yeah,
know if
he
you got.
won from the draft. Like,
Go ahead. What were you saying?
I said, as of right now, he's the offensive rookie of the year.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Just his poise, the way he plays with poise at the quarterback position. That was a huge win for the Commanders against the Bengals the other night. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. One of the more underrated, not only wide receivers but players in the game, Terry McLaurin,
Yep.
bruh. The Commanders are a team you better look out for in the future. This is the most exciting prospect I've seen with Washington since RG3 his freshman year. I mean freshman year, his first year of the league. But I don't even think RG3 has the arm talent and certain tangibles that this kid has, man. What do you think, Will?
No, I agree. Like RG3 was a good player and a special prospect, but Jaden, he has elite speed and um he's got a rocket for an arm. I mean, that touchdown to McLaurin at when he was getting smacked by the defender. I mean, it looked like he almost didn't have a chance to fully extend his arm, and he threw
Yeah,
a perfect pass in the end zone. A strike
perfect
pass
man.
to the defender right where only McLaurin could get the ball. I mean, that's as good as a throw as you may see from a quarterback, throughout their careers. Like it was nothing.
I agree, man. Um, just things he could do. He can run the football a little bit. He reminds me somewhat of Randall Cunningham. He does remind me of Randall Cunningham a little bit, man. Both of them kind of tall. Cunningham's what, 6'4", 6'5", lean. So is Jaden Daniels, man. Wow, better watch the Commanders coming up in the future, bruh. And another thing is too, we got to remember, Jaden Daniels is already seasoned because he's played in 55 games in college.
Yep.
He's 32 years old. So he's coming to the league understanding and mature enough to handle the quarterback position for the Commanders. So, man, shout outs to that young man, Jaden Daniels, man. He's doing his thing. But Will, anything else you want to talk about, or we basically that's it.
I think we covered it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, quick little show. You know what I mean? No less under an hour. We covered all our bases and stuff. Um, I guess I'll start off with the shout out. Shout outs, of course, to my boy Will, co-pilot, definitely. Also, our third co-pilot. Shout outs to him as he wasn't here due to technical difficulties.
Cracker Jack.
Yep, yep. Our boy JJ, man. Of course, JJ, we appreciate what you do with us here on this podcast, brother. But you gotta get that Wi-Fi straightened out there, good brother. You be getting on me. But we
Hey,
see
JP, bro, I can tell that felt too good to say that to somebody else.
it happened to somebody else. Technical difficulties, reason why JJ wasn't back on with us. But hey man, first off, to the people out of Florida, the Carolinas, Georgia, whatever, hopefully this storm is coming your way. This hurricane is not that bad, man. And we definitely gotta pray and hope. The loss of lives are a minimum, man, and with everything with people down there in Florida and stuff, and definitely praying for y'all, wishing y'all the best down there, man. And I guess that's about it we have for this week, brother. Another show in the books. This is number 38 in the books.
Yes, sir.
But on behalf of Will, JJ, we say peace. Have yourselves a great weekend, and a lot of good football is on this weekend. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.